10, Jacinda Ardern.
Question to the Minister of Social Development and Employment. Does she stand by her statement that this government is backing young people to gain skills and the confidence that gets them real jobs in go-ahead industries? If so, does she believe youth unemployment rates reflect this?
The Honourable Paula Bennett.
Mr Speaker, yes, I stand by all my statements, especially that, and I quote myself here, that this John Key-led government is backing young people to gain skills and the confidence that gets them real jobs in go-ahead industries. And in response to her second part, I believe the rates would be significantly worse if it wasn't for the initiatives of this government.
Jacinda Ardern.
Supplementary to the Minister. Has unemployment for 15 to 24-year-olds increased by 53% since she became Minister? And if not, what is the correct figure?
The Honourable Paula Bennett.
Mr Speaker, yes, but what we've also seen in the last 12 months is an increase in employment, and those young people are. So 4,000 young people more in the last year are actually in employment. As we saw today in the announcement of the HLFS, we are seeing more people participating and wanting to be in there. We've got a lot of work to do. There is no doubt about it that it's young people that are most affected by a recession and by the effects of it. That's why we're making investments like $55.2 million into programs that we think will substantially make a difference.
Jacinda Ardern.
Supplementary number 2. Has the Minister of Social Development's has the Ministry of Social Development's overall budget increased as a result of the youth unemployment package she announced yesterday?
The Honourable Paula Bennett.
Mr Speaker, yes, because we've taken money from other areas as well as from within the employment assistance package. So within that area of youth unemployment, Mr Speaker, you will see this $55.2 million making a difference.
Jacinda Ardern.
Mr Speaker, what programs were cut in order to fund the youth unemployment package?
The Honourable Paula
Mr
Bennett.
Speaker, what we did was reprioritise within it in some respects as well. So programs like Cadet Max, which do a really good job of working directly with the employers, but we wanted to get that NZQA accreditation right next to it and get that training with them as well, so that young people don't just get the job and in industries where we really need it, but also see them be longer term able to stay in employment. So it's been a reprioritisation within. I've just talked about Cadet Max. I've just talked about Jobs for the Future, that we've sort of changed how that dynamic works as well. So we've taken those sorts of programs and made sure they've got the skills and training component next to them.
Carmel Sepuloni.
Which would provide better long-term employment prospects for the 40,000 15 to 24-year-old unemployed Māori and Pacific industry training, which the Minister cut $55 million from last year, or limited service volunteer 6-week military courses that the Minister has just put $25 million into?
The Honourable Paula
Mr
Bennett.
Speaker, it would help if the member actually got her facts right. So actually I'm the Minister of Social Development and not the Minister of TEC, which is the $55 million that she's talking about, which of course was not cut, but reprioritised into areas of university training, which absolutely made a difference. So those places were not being taken up, were not being used, and absolutely we are now using them. We have more people in university now that makes a difference. The member doesn't get many questions. You'd think she'd try and use them
Order.
carefully.
Point of order, the Honourable David Parker. Order.
We deserve plenty of extra questions in order to attempt to get an answer from the Minister.
Order. I was going to try and quieten the House so his point of order could have been heard in silence, but because he kept speaking when I was on my feet, I'm afraid he's just lost that privilege. Point of order, the Honourable David Parker.
The gratuitous insults from that Minister should not have to be put up with by the opposition.
Now, order. That was a point of order, and the point is actually reasonably made. Now, the question that was asked, okay, the Minister disputed the facts contained. She's perfectly entitled to do that. But the question, didn't really deserve, quite that kind of comment. But at the same time, where ministers, where questioners allege government's cut money where government considers it hasn't, they can expect fairly they can expect fairly robust responses. Point of order, the Honourable Trevor Mallard.
Mr. Speaker, it's really just a question around the processes that you want when we're dealing with these matters. I think all of us agree that you have tended to let things flow, play advantage, and that sort of approach. The question is when there is that sort of comment, which I think none of us think is appropriate, whether we should take a point of order or whether you might intervene yourself.
If it's... No, look, I don't think it's necessary. Honestly, I don't think it's necessary. Colleagues, order. The members... Order. Minister should know that you members don't interject on either side of the House. And the member makes I reacted immediately, but it was too late to stop it. And I quickly assessed how bad it was and decided, given the question asked, that I would let it go. But I do respect the fact objection was taken to it, and I respect that. And that's why I've asked the Minister to refrain from that unless severely provoked. And I don't think that question did really severely provoke the Minister. Question number 11, Nikki. I beg your pardon. Supplementary question, Rahui Katane.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Supplementary to the Minister. Does she agree with the view of Ngāi Tahu leader Mark Solomon that the reconstruction of Christchurch should be used as a gigantic trades training program? And if so, will she be prepared to provide assistance to Ngāi Tahu in their efforts to see a trades training initiative become a success?
Mr. Speaker, as indicated by the Prime Minister yesterday, there will be announcements on trades and skills in Christchurch in the very near future. But I know that this government would like to continue working in partnership, certainly with Ngāi Tahu and the work that they are doing, so we continue those conversations and hope that we see some outcomes from them.
Question number 11, Nikki Kay.